Hello, it's Zooins Bear and we are back with another video. What are we doing today?
So still continuing with politics, there's a video I recently came across on Twitter that shows how the typical ANC member or the typical ANC voter thinks like.
I actually want to see that.
You want to see it, no?
Particularly now in 2024.
So it's important to see how the typical ANC voter thinks, and maybe we can try educate them. Maybe they're right in what they're saying. But let's check out this clip first.
Okay.
And then you tell me what you think about it.
All right.
Kuba bonke ababuzayo ukuthi i-ANC ideliveni. We don't have to explain ourselves to them anymore. The RDP houses that we have, unyogoloy, water and electricity, unyogoloy. The roads and hospitals that we have, unyogoloy. The schools that we're attending, the school that your child is attending, the multiracial schools, unyogoloy. The right of voting, unyogoloy. Uhamba nomilaphi ungabuzwa lutho, unyogoloy.
Thoughts?
I get like her argument, you know what I'm saying? Like things like, oh, your right to vote and whatever. Like, yeah, we thank them for, you know, getting us there in 1994. You know what I'm saying?
So there's a few things kind of shaky with her argument here about what the ANC has delivered. The ANC, well, she brings up the first point, RDP houses.
Yeah.
They have delivered some RDP houses, not as much as they promised to deliver.
Yes.
But the RDP houses that they have delivered have been proven to have not been up to standard.
Yeah.
Not good quality housing.
Yes.
Just shelter for people, but RDP houses are literally deteriorating within 1 year. Okay, my first point is RDP house, not up to quality. So her next point is water and electricity. That's
where, like, I mean, we still see people saying, or that's why I'm asking, like, is it the taps, the individual taps that they put in the poor communities, or general water that we have running, or what?
Either way,
because they got that as a moving system, was it? Yes, something that was already there.
Yeah, so that's the point I wanted to make, that water and electricity, most of the systems that the ANC have inherited are still the same.
They hit the ground running. Yes. They jumped on a moving train. Those things were already established, particularly the ones that we see. And a lot of now what is moving to places are also private companies are doing that for the houses that they are establishing, the private properties and things like that. Not necessarily anything the ANC has to do. They just have to have an approval of the plan and how to flow the things in. So that was already an existing thing.
And then in case of electricity, you've seen the electricity crisis that we've been having for the past close to 20 years. So you just bring up electricity, is just like
they messed up an existing system, electricity that they inherited as well. Do you know what I'm saying? They didn't even build on top of that. They didn't even they built one power plant, I guess, now two, right? That are giving us problems today. Not even maintaining those ones that they've built themselves, let alone the ones that were they inherited, that they were given to them. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like, we actually have a problem now with electricity because of the ANC.
Yeah, so just to put into context, I'm gonna put up a picture of the power stations that the apartheid government put up, and the number of power stations ANC have built, which is only 2
in almost 30 years.
And those new power stations are already failing. And then she's busy telling us about
these people are probably they're very ignorant. Or they just don't think through stuff. I don't understand.
So the whole water electricity argument as well.
Oh no,
not that good.
No, that's not a good argument, my dear.
Let's just go on to the next one and see what she says.
No, very.
The roads and hospitals that we have, unyogoloy.
Talked about roads and hospitals. Again, most of it is inherited. The ANC haven't really expanded cities like that. The only cities that have been expanded to a significant degree are major metropolitan cities.
Yes.
And that's not even because of the government.
Yes.
It's because of the private sector.
It affects the private as well, that the private are willing to stand up like, let's get the stand.
The city remains exactly the same as how it was when it was inherited in 94.
Instead, what's happening, the buildings are deteriorating, like it's not even alive as it used to be.
Even if you just look at before and after pictures of like major cities before 94 and after 94, you see a huge difference in like how deteriorating these cities have become. And the problem is like as well, ANC have very poor maintenance management. Like they cannot maintain the things that they've inherited.
No.
A lot of things have been deteriorating, and that's the main complaint about the ANC.
Yeah.
Like you can't even maintain. Everything's just deteriorating to the point where nothing is working.
Yeah.
So if you go back to if you look at the roads have been poorly maintained. Potholes everywhere. People complain about potholes every day. That's a known fact. And then if you look at hospitals, do ministers take their children or themselves to public hospitals? Just ask yourself that.
Can you, given a choice, if you have a choice, are you gonna go
to a public hospital or a private hospital?
Are you gonna go?
Do ministers use public hospitals? Ask yourself that. Like, just take a second, step back, ask yourself that. Do ministers use public hospitals? Do their children use public hospitals? Do ministers use anything in the public sector?
No.
Just ask yourself that before you start talking like this. And then you feel like the average South African deserves that.
Exactly.
You think the average South African deserves to be living in subpar standards while the ministers do not.
Absolutely.
Is that okay to you? Like this is the level of thinking that the average ANC voter is thinking at, and this is why it's very scary, and this is why I think we really need to try our best to like educate these people as much as possible, because they blindly following an organization that has proven that they cannot run.
Now it's a cult, my dear. Now it's a cult, honestly.
Okay, let's move on to the next point.
The schools that we're attending, the school that your child is attending, the multiracial schools,
my main point with that as well is like in terms of the schools, if you look at all the good quality schools in the country, like all of them were made way before.
Way before they
all of them.
They're passing 100 years. A lot of schools are celebrating 100 years, over 100 years,
50 years,
exactly.
All, like that.
All older than the ANC.
The good quality schools.
Exactly.
Just take a walk around your local area. Look at all the good quality schools there, and look when they were founded. And then ask if the ANC was part of that. If the ANC delivered that to you.
Yeah.
Just take a young walk and see.
And maybe also while you at it, maybe Google the ones that have been made after the NCs and then compare the quality. Compare.
And then also the ANC ministers and higher up officials do not take their kids to public schools.
Yeah.
They don't take their kids to government schools.
No, they don't.
All of them go to private schools. Again, so you're saying that the average South African deserves subpar education while the ministers deserve the best education. There's always going to be that divide, and that's what people complain about with the ANC.
Exactly.
But you don't see that, I guess, right? Next point.
The right of voting.
So the final point is the point that the ANC deserves credit for. The right to vote.
Absolutely.
But then that's all they were actually good for. That's why a lot of people are saying that the ANC have done their job. And throughout the 30 years in power that they've shown that they cannot run the country.
Yeah.
And that's what people are complaining about.
That you got us a good deal. You got us the Constitution. You got us, freedom of speech, voting, all of that.
Basically giving us our human rights.
Yes.
You've done that. Yes.
That we can never take away from the ANC. Nobody's even fighting that.
But the ability to run a country effectively, the ANC have shown that they cannot do that at all.
Let's be honest.
And that's what people are complaining
about. And it's okay. Like you don't have to master everything. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be good at something. Everybody has a part to play in something. But now also you have to be able to say, you know what, this one is beyond me. I should, give another person a chance. Or like at what point are you going, like I get it, we can always excuse it with greed or whatever. Put aside the greed. At what point are you actually gonna sit down and realize that you're failing? You know what I'm saying? Like that you're failing. Now a whole ship is sinking because of your refusal to accept that we are sinking. You don't want to do something about it. Just because another person has to come forward now and steer. No, I'm the boss, I'm the captain. So we must die because you of that delusion that you that's unfair.
with all that being said, it's quite evident that we still have quite a way to go to educate the masses, especially the people who are still blindly following the ANC without accepting that they have faults, without accepting that they are not good enough to run the country.
Yeah.
We still have a ways to go, but these conversations are good because hopefully we can open some people's eyes.
Yeah.
Hopefully some people can start to consider other alternatives.
Yeah.
Hopefully other people will start to critically think and see why the ANC is not fit to run the country.
Absolutely. We're having more of these political chats because I know sometimes like the regular South African, you just want to have a chat with a regular South African, not you know, the know-it-alls or whatever.
Go
like
deep into politics.
Yeah, no. But because this also does affect you as a regular person, at the end of the day, you're going to have to go and vote. And especially with a lot of people being eager, young people being eager to actually vote this year, you know, like it's good that we are having these conversations. And hopefully, maybe through these chats, we can actually strengthen our confidence for when we are actually going to vote.
I just thought about this video now. A very beautiful clip.
Yeah.
A very beautiful clip that came out of some podcast a while ago. Somebody saying that people who defend the ANC in this day and age cannot help but look very silly. So just remember that you cannot defend the ANC without looking stupid. And I'll show you a couple of clips of people trying to defend the ANC and looking stupid. Have a laugh as well. But you guys let us know what you think about this whole situation.
Yeah, let us know.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And keep watching. Goodbye.
We'll check you guys in the next one.
Load shedding. Load shedding is as a result of demand not meeting capacity because the apartheid government only built power stations for select communities and they did not build enough capacity to cater for black people. So now the ANC...
It's been 30 years.
Come on.
It's been 30 years. I will not say it. I think redo that one.
Like, when you look at a young person who maybe has voted once or twice for the ANC, they're still unemployed, affected by bad service delivery and load shedding. How do you motivate them to continue voting the ANC?
I think that South Africa is the best place to live in the world. It's not perfect, and it could use better solutions. And there needs to be an expedited road to ending unemployment.
Someone who's watching, what is this guy saying?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, expedite, what? Me bra.
Yeah.
Why is this young person vote for ANC?
You can't defend the ANC today and not look stupid. You can't. You can't.